Hi, everybody. My name is Matthew Simbanis. I'm a certified public accountant. My firm is based in Long Island, New York. Not that you really care, but that's pretty much the quick background story. In today's video, we are going to discuss Geico raising my auto insurance rates by 33% in 13 months. So to be exact, 33.52%. So really rounded up, called 34% in 13 months. So I have a Porsche Macan, fully loaded. No, it's not a Carrera. No, it's not a Cayenne for that matter. It's their base model, just fully loaded. It's a 2021. And, I've just had a rough day to begin with. And overall, a good day, but a rough day. And, I got my text, as I do from Geico every month. And instead of it saying, hey, your monthly bill is $212, today it was $252. I thought for sure it had to have been a mistake. I call up Geico and they say, nope, that's correct. And then they attributed it to the New York State required spousal insurance, which was $36. And apparently New York State enacted some law that you have to now decline spousal insurance, even if you're single, by the way, which I am, that you have to decline it. Otherwise, it costs an additional $36. And so she assured me that was part of it. And I said, okay, so once we take that off, it'll only have gone up a couple dollars from $212 to, whatever. And she said, nope, that's $36 for 6 months. So if they take that off, instead of it being $252, it would only be whatever, $246. So the bottom line is Geico sucks. The bottom line is the Federal Reserve, by keeping interest rates so low, is causing the cost of insurance to go up. And now it's much higher. So these, companies should be able to get some type of rate of return on their money. But at the end of the day, all these insurance companies, what they do is they take your money, they take my money, and they reinvest it and hopefully earn a profit on it in addition to the money that they make from the insurance. So insurance companies are generally two types of businesses. Case in point, in 2023, I'll have paid, more in taxes than I used to make in a year, way more than my first salary was, which was, when I graduated in 2005 with my 4-year accounting degree. It was, $52,000 was my starting salary. I can tell you that my bill is going to be way more than double, triple that, whatever. I'm not going to get into details. And so I've had to look around because I've done everything I can humanly do from a legal standpoint to minimize my tax bill. And so now the next step is going to be to buy captive insurance, which is basically I'm self-insuring and for catastrophic types of losses. And basically I'll reinvest the money. And then from there, I'll have a huge insurance bill, but the money that I'm paying into the insurance company, which I believe I will own, I'm still getting familiar with it, will buy these investments. And then at some point, I'll sell those investments at a long-term capital gains rate. So instead of spending 40 to 45%, because I'm in New York State, on a tax bill, it'll be more like 18%. So anyway, basically, the reason for the huge increase, according to Geico, was the medical has gone through the roof and parts have gone through the roof. So, I think it's to depreciate an asset, et cetera, et cetera. The supply chain is done, right? How it's 3 years later, going on 4 years or whatever, 2020 to 2024 now. I mean, we're talking 4 years later. How much are you going to continue to blame on the supply chain issues? It's disgusting. I'm appalled. I was going to film another video about how 9 million students didn't repay their debts, but we'll do that tomorrow. And listen, so in November, I printed it out for my cell phone. I'm not that technologically savvy, so I apologize for my unprofessionalism, and here it is. But in November 27th, 2022, my Geico bill was $188.74. And then December 28th, 2022, $203 and, 44 cents. So I printed this out from my cell phone. Hopefully you can see it. And then it went up a couple more dollars to $212 as of November 28th, $212.40. And now today, $252.09. So listen, it's not going to make or break me. I personally, am I miffed about it? Yes. Will I shop around for my insurance? Yes. Is it going to, in the grand scheme of things, affect my pocketbook? No. Is it going to affect the way I live? No. Am I more annoyed about the principle than anything? Yes. With a few exceptions, which I'm going to go into. So, what if I was a senior citizen, right? What if I was a senior citizen on a fixed income? Or what if I was just a regular worker working for an accounting firm on a fixed income? At some point, this madness, this corporate greed has to stop. Again, I've had one accident 20 years ago when I was in college. Otherwise, no, one or two tickets, and I don't think they were moving violations or anything like that. And those were probably over 20 years ago. So as to how people are going to continue to take advantage and just rip people off is just disgusting. It's wrong. Frankly, I'm not telling you to, but go bash Geico, and if they're doing it to me, they're doing it to other people. And, this nonsense of inflation being 2%, well, 2% a year or averaging it, or 6 or 8%, this is perfect proof put in that inflation is nowhere near 2%. And I would have to go back and look at what my original bill was, but it was probably $150. It was probably $150 when I first got the car in 2021. I have two cars, so they both have low miles. I could go sell them today and take the money and run or whatever. And, if I'm that annoyed about it, then I might go trade this car in for another car that's not as expensive to insure, just based on the principle. Do I need to drive a fancy car? No. Should I drive a fancy car as an accountant? Yeah. But, again, ultimately, this is just corporate greed, and I'm absolutely besides myself. So hopefully that made sense. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've listened this far, I really, really appreciate it. My dog's playing with a little squeak ball. I apologize if you hear that. And let me know what your thoughts are. I know people are getting crushed by inflation with food and everything else. Has your insurance gone through the roof? Has your medical insurance gone through the roof? I'd like to hear from you. And I hope you have a great night. Merry belated Christmas. Merry belated Hanukkah. And Happy New Year. Alrighty, 2024 is going to be a brutal year. It's going to be a lot more inflation. And we're going to be filming a lot more videos. So have a great night.